Hiya, and welcome to the final week of our self-care campaign. I can't believe it's over already. It's been amazing to be on this journey with you, and thank you all so much for your emails, your phone calls, your texts, your feedback on it. I hope you've got something from it, from the permission slips that we looked at, through to the self-care practices, through to the meditation, mindfulness, the free resources, the clutter clearing your space, and all the other bits and pieces that we looked at over the last 7 weeks. So I really hope you enjoy it and got something from it as well. I will be starting again next year, so if you want to stay in the loop for next year, for next Lent, then you can just stay subscribed to the newsletter. If you prefer not to, then just unsubscribe from the newsletter or send me an email and I can take your name off. That's no problem. Today I wanted to talk to you about a few things, and first of all, it's just a really interesting thing that happened last Thursday. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there in the audience going, oh my God, this is stuff that I talk about all the time, and isn't it wonderful that it's out there? And it all came about from a friend of mine who invited me to a talk in the UCD Smurfit Business School just up the road from here, from where I work. And the title of the talk was Self-Care and Leadership, and why leaders need self-care. And it was by a Dr. Mark Rowe. I'd never heard of him before, but I knew his face when I saw him, so you might have heard of him yourself. And he got up and he spoke about all the things that we've been talking about over the last 7 weeks. And it was a real affirmation for me that, God, people need to hear this stuff. People really need it, whether you are a leader, whether you are somebody who's a mother or a daughter or a husband or a son, whether you're in the corporate field or you're not in the corporate field, that you really need self-care. So it was amazing, and the room was packed full of these CEOs of these major companies, all lapping up, writing down everything that he was saying, like hanging on to his every word. And he basically talked about gratitude, he talked about meditation, he talked about mindfulness, he talked about expressing gratitude for 3 things every day and how that increases your levels by up to 30%. He talked about nutrition and looking after your diet. He talked about all the things that I talk about and that everybody probably already knows, but that we've been talking about in the self-care. So I was sitting there bursting with happiness going, God, people are listening to this, people are wanting this, people are lapping it up, because people are really becoming to realize how important self-care is. Because when the well runs dry, we've no space for anything in our lives. We've no space for compassion, for patience. And he actually said a really important, really good thing I've forgotten. He said, if I'm in good form and I meet somebody, I pass my happiness on to the next person by up to 30%. And then they pass that happiness on to the next person. So the happier that you are, the more that you can pass on that happiness to others. And I just thought that was a really nice statistic to share with you. The final tip for our final week is one that I love, and I've heard about it the last couple of years, and I do it on and off. I need to do it more regularly myself. Hence, I thought it'd be a good topic or a good tip to share with you this week. And that topic is plogging. I don't know if you've heard of it. Plogging comes from the idea of picking up litter while you're walking or jogging. It's so nice to do. It's so lovely. You actually feel really good while you're doing it. And it's very simple. You simply, bring a plastic bag with you, or a carrier bag, or a reusable bag, I should say, not plastic, and pick up some pieces of litter on your commute to school, or your commute to work, or your commute to the gym, or wherever it is that you're going to. Go out and pick up some litter. It only has to be a couple of pieces of litter, but pick it up, because Mother Earth is really quite sick at the moment and needs your help. So it's a really lovely practice to get into, especially with the kids. You come back and you could have bags full of stuff. And it's a great way of learning that we have to take care of this world that we live in. We see the effects of climate change every day. There's an amazing video by Greta Thunberg out there, this amazing Swedish teenager who's taking the world by storm, talking about climate change. And really, I don't need to be rehashing all those statistics at you. It is quite frightening. So plogging is a little thing that you can do for the earth and for climate change and to protect our seas and our animals as well. So get out there with a plastic bag this week, pick up some rubbish and enjoy it. Finally, thank you yet again for being part of this. Otherwise it would be me sitting in front of a camera talking to myself, which it generally is most weeks. but I like to think that it's reaching a few people anyway, and I hope it's reached you and brought something to you. All of the videos are available on my channel on YouTube, so if you go to YouTube and put in Ellen Schilling, you'll see all of the videos from all of the weeks. Please feel free to share them or use them throughout the year. They're not just for Lent, they're for use at any time, any stage. I have classes, of course, workshops, I have mindfulness courses, meditation courses. If you're interested in meeting me or doing being involved in some of the classes that I run, all the details are on my website, exhale.ie. That's exhale.ie. But once again, thank you so much for being part of this program. I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next year. Bye.